Buenos días a todos. Buenos días. Bienvenidos a la Cámara de Comercio, Industria y Servicios de Madrid en esta fría mañana de invierno, pero mañana de oportunidad porque vamos a hablar de Azerbaiyán. Quería empezar mi intervención de bienvenida, que va a ser muy breve, dando las gracias a la Embajada de Azerbaiyán y a su embajador muy especialmente, el señor Ramid Hasanov, por hacer posible la jornada que hoy nos va a acercar al mercado de Azerbaiyán, un mercado que hoy por hoy pues, cobra una especial relevancia en un contexto en el que los cambios geoestratégicos están a la orden del día. I want to give a warm welcome to the delegation that is visiting us from Azerbaiyán, muy especialmente al presidente de la Zona Franca de Azerbaiyán, el señor Balev Alasgarov, y todo su equipo, y también al director ejecutivo adjunto de la Agencia de Exportaciones e Inversiones de Azerbaiyán, de Azpromo, el señor Zorab Gadirov. Muchas gracias por estar hoy aquí. Thank you so much for being here today with our business community. No quiero olvidarme tampoco de las empresas que participan hoy, que van a compartir con nosotros su experiencia y que están aquí representadas. Tanto la empresa de Adolfo Romero, SKZ, lo tengo que mirar, Adolfo, Global, para no equivocarme, una consultora con amplia experiencia en los países del Cáucaso, pero también tenemos a la representante de Indra y a un representante de Técnicas Reunidas que nos, como decía antes, nos van a dedicar su tiempo para compartir la experiencia que tienen en este mercado. Siempre una visión práctica consideramos es de sumo interés. Voy a ser muy breve, como decía, pero no quería dejar de apuntar una serie de cuestiones que creemos que son importantes. Desde la Cámara, como bien saben, trabajamos por acercar a nuestras empresas a mercados de oportunidad. Como decía antes, en un contexto en el que todos debemos de estar con los ojos bien abiertos para mirar y ver oportunidades donde quizás en una etapa anterior pues no teníamos tanto interés. Azerbaiyán cobra una especial relevancia en el momento actual. Me decía el embajador antes de entrar pues que hay no solo las empresas que hoy van a estar con nosotros, sino otras muchas que están trabajando en sectores estratégicos, que han intensificado además su presencia en el país por la relevancia geoestratégica del mismo. Es verdad que esa relevancia tiene un componente muy importante relacionado con los recursos energéticos y con su situación geográfica como país estratégico en el Caspio, pero también es verdad que es un país que está haciendo un esfuerzo muy importante por diversificar su economía, ofreciendo también oportunidades en otros sectores de mucho interés para nuestras empresas, embajador, porque son empresas con buen producto y servicio que pueden aportar a las empresas y al país y a Azerbaiyán. Son empresas que en el ámbito de las infraestructuras o en el ámbito de la tecnología, en el ámbito de la agroindustria pueden aportar mucho y algunas de ellas han venido hoy aquí mostrando su interés por acercarse a su país. Un país además que cuenta con el importante apoyo de instituciones financieras multilaterales, que eso también es interesante conocerlo, porque al final están dotando de líneas de financiación al desarrollo de proyectos estratégicos que contribuyen al crecimiento económico del país. Instituciones como el Banco Mundial o como el Banco Europeo de Desarrollo e Inversiones o el Banco Asiático de Desarrollo, perdón. Por lo tanto, creo que es un país que no solo por su propia política nacional de incentivar la inversión extranjera, sino que además porque está apoyado desde las instituciones multilaterales, ofrece garantías y sin duda oportunidades a nuestras empresas. Hoy hemos venido, además de a conocer mejor el mercado de Azerbaiyán, en particular a conocer la Zona Franca de ALAT, situada muy próxima al Puerto Internacional y que ofrece ventajas exclusivas a las empresas que decidan apostar por su implantación en esta zona franca. Para ello se ha desplazado y está aquí hoy en Madrid el presidente de su junta directiva, como mencionaba anteriormente. Y ya para finalizar, mencionar que las relaciones bilaterales entre España y Azerbaiyán son discretas, sobre todo centradas en el ámbito energético y por lo tanto tienen mucho camino que recorrer. Y le decía al embajador antes de entrar que por eso estamos hoy aquí y desde la Cámara seguiremos apostando por ese acercamiento y por ese intensificar las relaciones entre las empresas que pueden encontrar muchos puntos de cooperación empresarial. Y por mi parte, y sin más dilación, les doy la bienvenida. Nos ponemos todo el equipo de Internacional de la Cámara a su disposición. Estamos todos o muchos de nosotros aquí hoy para acompañarles en ese acercamiento al mercado, al igual que a otros países, como bien saben, y en ese trabajo muy de cerca con la empresa y muy a medida para hacer realidad e intensificar y consolidar su expansión internacional. Sin más dilación, le voy a pedir al embajador de Azerbaiyán en España, el señor Ramib Hasanov, que nos haga el honor de dirigirnos unas palabras. Embajador, muchas gracias.
Estimados señores, queridas amigas, ante todo, quería agradecer a todos ustedes por estar aquí hoy. Agradecimiento especial a la Cámara de Comercio de Madrid por organizar este encuentro y la Zona Económica Libre de ALAT por viajar hasta Madrid para compartir con nosotros las oportunidades de negocio e inversiones en Azerbaiyán. And now allow me to
Go on in English.
in English, yeah. Well, once again, at the outset, I would like to convey my gratitude to the Chamber of Commerce of Madrid for organizing this meeting regarding business and investment opportunity in Azerbaijan, and especially creating such a platform to discuss the favorable condition offered by ALAT Free Economic Zone. Azerbaijan is a modern, developing, and self-sufficient country with diversified economy, a country which leads implementation of the global energy and transportation projects. The overall investment climate in Azerbaijan is stable and has a great potential for welcoming foreign investments. Since 1994, the country's vast oil reserves have been attracting foreign investment to the economy, which consequently made the oil and gas sector the main target of foreign investments. However, the modern day Azerbaijan has managed to upbuild relatively sophisticated communication and transportation infrastructure, as well as industrial, agricultural, educational, housing, and healthcare sectors. Azerbaijan presents unique opportunities to businesses entering the country as it continues to develop its market infrastructure, including legal, tax, and banking frameworks and links to the international business community. With Spain, we have a positive record of political cooperation, and we very much aim to convert our political cooperation into the development of economic ties in order to achieve more practical cooperation. Over the period of 2021, Spain was among the top 5 countries importing Azerbaijani products. Worthy to note that since the beginning of 2023, Spanish company Enagás became one of the major shareholders of the Trans-Adriatic Pipeline project after it increases its share up to 20%, which eventually equalized the percentage share among all 5 shareholders. It's also worth noting that in January-August 2022, compared to the same period last year, export from Spain to Azerbaijan increased by 105% and imports by 84%. So there is a huge potential for Spain companies to be involved in business sector of Azerbaijan. Transportation, high technologies, tourism, education, all these areas can be attractive for Spanish investors. Given the region's significant potential, many around the world has a keen interest to cooperate closely with Azerbaijan. Therefore, I believe companies of the community of Madrid will also take the opportunity to start or expand their businesses in Azerbaijan and investigate new business environment emerge after the liberation of our territories. I am convinced that the presentation of today will be very informative, clarifying and result-oriented per se, and above all, we will pave the way for further enhancing cooperation of our economic and commercial relations with Spain. And once again, using this opportunity, I would like to once again thanks the audience and wish you all success. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias al señor embajador, un embajador además muy próximo a España y muy próximo a toda la comunidad empresarial. A continuación tenemos la suerte, como decía al inicio, de contar con el director ejecutivo adjunto de la Agencia de Exportación e Inversiones de Azerbaiyán, quien va a abordar el clima de negocio y los sectores clave abiertos a oportunidades con empresas españolas para esa cooperación empresarial. El señor Zorab Gadirov, cuando quiera. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I hope I can be heard well. Thank you for this great opportunity to be here today. I think the major goal of the presentation, and I don't know how well you can see the screen right now, but the major goal is probably to provide you with some information on Azerbaijan. I mean, when I say some information, I mean the real opportunities to, in a way, one of the major goals is to put Azerbaijan for you on your map of your interest, because we understand that in some cases it's probably not so easy to get the information of the country, but here we will try today to fill partially into this gap. So with your permission, I hope it will work. Yeah. Now it works. Now it works. Thank you so much. Just to give you some heads up, the country's population is slightly more than 10 million people. And compared to some countries, this can be considered rather a small market. But nevertheless, I want to point something out. And Valim also pointed out this during the meeting today we had initially, that you should be looking at Azerbaijan as a market which is much bigger than 10 million, because we have the neighboring countries with which we have free trade agreements, and right across the border we have a very big market of like right across the borders, like literally speaking, more than 300 million people. But like even beyond that, we have some other countries in our neighboring region which as a market converts this 10 million into much more. So that's something which is very important to understand. Now, as of the year end 21, I mean, we're going to have the figures for 2022 shortly. The country's GDP equal to almost 55 billion USD. Like as of the year 2022, this figure will increase. And our major goal, I think, within the structure of GDP is to diversify it away from oil and gas, because as you may well be aware, Azerbaijan is a significant player on the world's oil market. Moreover, I'd like to say Azerbaijan is the first country in this world to start on industrial production of oil. Well, due to some reasons, it was like, I think it was easier to do it in Azerbaijan. So that's like where the oil industry is very old in terms of timing. So for us, it's very important to diversify away from it. And it's like, as you can see in various years, we managed to increase the share of non-oil, whereas in others it's smaller, but nevertheless, the trend is going on and it's pretty good. So again, as of the year end 2021, our net exports prevailed over the net imports almost twice. In many ways, this was due to the oil exports, but as an agency, I'm talking about ourselves as Gazprom, which is in charge of promotion of non-oil exports and investment attraction. For us on this slide, the bottom left part is of particular interest, and that is the export out of the country of non-oil commodities and goods. And you can see that, like, this is just a fragment for the 2021. But if you take a look at it in perspective, you would see that the share of the industrial products is increasing. Rather soon we will have the figures for 2022, and I think it will reflect even more on the industrial export out of Azerbaijan. So that is on the rise. This is something very important. I think the map is something very important to understand where not only where Azerbaijan is, but also why its geographic location is so important. So on the left map, you can see two destinations, north, south, and east to west. And importantly enough, these are intersecting precisely in Azerbaijan. And I will tell you more over than that. It's just like that intersection is actually going across the ALAT free economic zone, which Vadim will present more on today. So it's like a very strategic location. We will come to that later, but I'm just trying to say how strategically, interestingly, and importantly, the country is located. On the right map, you can see three traditional roads, and we've been discussing that in the morning as well, which go from east to west. Basically, if we can say so, from China to EU, if we put it like in more specific terms. So Southern Maritime Road is there. Nothing has changed with that. It's functioning fully fledged. But the North Road, which was going through Russia, is not as active anymore as it used to be. And I think everybody understands why. So the middle corridor, as we call it, is gaining the momentum and it's becoming more and more important. So it also starts in China. It goes through Central Asia. Then from Azerbaijan, it goes to Europe. An important thing about this middle corridor is that it only has the chance on the west part of the Caspian Sea to go through Azerbaijan. There's no other location it can go through. So it automatically makes Azerbaijan a very important destination. I'm saying that because our north border is with the Russian Federation, which, I mean, it itself had this huge transport corridor. Our southern border is with Iran. And in this case, there are also many companies who are not willing to do that. So if you take a look at the map carefully, then from the very north, from the Northern Ocean and up until to the Indian Ocean, there are only three countries in that specific latitude, longitude, if you would. And one of them Russia, one of them Iran, and one of them is Azerbaijan. So it's like very interestingly located. That is something to keep in mind when you think of Azerbaijan. And of course, you can say it's one thing to have a very good and strategic geographic location, but how about the infrastructure inside the country? And I must tell you that infrastructure is developing rather rapidly. Over the last years, we've had more than 20,000 kilometers of roads and ways renovated and built from scratch. We have 2 new international airports built in the liberated from occupation territories within the time frame of 2 years. And this is something very important to understand, that like currently in Azerbaijan, we have 8 international airports. The 9th one is yet to be delivered pretty soon, most likely this year. So this ninth one would be the third one in the liberated territories, which means that within the time frame of 3 years, we would have delivered 3 fully fledged international airports to the territory of the country, and they are fully functioning. I must tell you that, like, prior to this visit, I visited liberated territories, and I flew actually to Fizuli, one of the 2 international airports. It just looks amazing. It's not as big as the one in Baku, but it's like absolutely modern. It's like internationally ready to accept the flights, and it's like quite impressive. Apart from that, when it comes to the railroads, we have launched as of the late 2017 railroad from Baku, from Azerbaijan, basically, to Georgia, and from there to Turkey. This is the so-called the Iron Silkway, Baku-Tbilisi-Kars. And as you are very well aware, I'm sure, from Turkey, it's very easy to connect to the EU, basically. So that's also another very interesting and important opportunity. There is also construction of the new international sea trade port. And when I say construction, it's operating. It's phase 1 is completely ready. There are, I think, in the midst of the phase 2, and it's also adjoining the area which is very close to ALAT free economic zone. And again, Valentina will present much better than myself, of course, on ALAT, but on the free economic zone. But what I would like to point out specifically today is that if you would consider some type of production in Azerbaijan with the potential for further export out of the country to other, like the countries which we just mentioned, with who we have FTAs, with who we have common borders, then is my deep persuasion there is no better platform than ALAT free economic zone, because their incentives are so multiple. Again, I don't want to steal your thunder. I don't want to run into that, but they have some amazing, like really amazing incentives, which we will get some information later. So also very important that like some of the other infrastructure projects on this map are adjoining ALAT free economic zone. They have the access in a very close proximity to the new international sea trade port. There is a railroad and there are highways. So I will not go too much into your topic, I'm sorry, right? So also the country is very self-sufficient. We have a very low level of international debt, which is very important for the country. His Excellency, Mr. President, pointed that out numerous times, that that's like one of the goals to pursue is the low level international debt. And I think here on this slide, if you recall, I said like we have 54, almost 55 billion as of the year end 2021 of the GDP. And you can see that the state oil company of Azerbaijan, as of the July 1st, 2022, had the reserves of 45 billion USD. If you add up to that, if you compound that with the reserves of the central bank, then that figure of the country's reserves is pretty much equal to what we have in GDP, which shows you how, despite the fact that many can think that GDP is not as high as in Spain, of course, but nevertheless, the model is very sustainable, because like the country's reserves pretty much equal to the country's GDP, and the level of the international debt is very low. So that's something important. And over the past several years, we had a number of reforms in many different areas. We have had improvements in the licensing systems, in the issuing permits, in reducing the tax burden, lessening the number of tax inspections, and many other things. So that could be explored in more details. Once there is an interest, we will be ready to provide more information. And again, when we are speaking about the export out of the country, I think we have a number of very interesting opportunities there as well, such as we have opened a number of trade houses of Azerbaijan in other countries, which can serve as basically as the shops to showroom the produce in Azerbaijan And this is really like easily available, readily available for all the companies who make the produce in Azerbaijan. So that's something to consider. Apart from that, of course, we have our embassy. Of course, within the embassies, we have economic officers who work in this direction, but we also have the so-called Institute of Trade Representatives, which we have in a number of countries. And these trade representatives are also instrumental in promoting export and in attracting investment. So this is something you could also capitalize on once you consider doing business with Azerbaijan or in Azerbaijan. And this is some information for your attention on the investment climate in Azerbaijan, and that is quite friendly. As it was mentioned earlier, they're like you are not required to have a local counterpart. If you want to have one, more than welcome. If you don't, if you want to do something yourself, again, no problems, no issues with bringing the capital in, taking it out, with repatriation of profits, with the FX transactions. So it's quite beneficial, it's quite convenient, and should be taken into consideration for sure. We have a number of bilateral investment treaties with your beautiful country. We're just discussing it right now, and we've had the double taxation treaty in effect since 2021. So that's there. Apart from that, there's another interesting and very prospective piece of infrastructure, or the industrial parks in Azerbaijan, which are numerous, including in the liberated territories, which provide you with some significant opportunities. You can see some of the statistics onto the number of employees employed there, onto the number of investment and so far, and so on. So they would provide you with some incentives, such as exemption from corporate income tax, from land and property taxes, and also on the exemption on the VAT on the imported equipment and technological produce, on VAT and on the custom tariffs as well. On the sectoral opportunities, I think it is worth mentioning some of the sectors which are traditional, which have been traditionally active and well developing in Azerbaijan, and which will also think have some significant potential for development in Azerbaijan. You can see some of them. Like we said, there is like a very actually heavy base for agriculture. It's like a very well developed, which this creates in itself very good opportunities for the food industry development, because I think a lot of the goods are still exported as a fresh, and that creates ample opportunities for processing, for adding value, and for making it even better. Chemical industry is also very well developed, since, like I said, like the oil industry has been in the country forever, and it's like an adjoining, it's chemical and petrochemical, so it's been quite effective, and there are like a number of companies, including foreign companies, who operate in the chemical industry. With the renewables, we've seen the momentum as well. We've had a couple of new big names arriving into the country, performing on the solar and wind projects. We're expecting more to follow up. The country's location is such that transportation and logistics is also providing a lot of opportunities to do something, just like other industries as well. So with that in mind, very briefly on ourselves, on Azerbaijan, on Export and Investment Promotion Agency of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Like I said, we would do with the export promotion and the investment promotion. So if any of you would have questions, like after this session is over, like, or during the network, we'd be more than happy to speak with you and to get into the discussions. With that in mind, thank you very much. That marks the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Muchas gracias por este contexto tan amigable a la empresa española, y yo creo que también nos ha descubierto y nos ha abierto los ojos a muchas áreas con potencial que sin duda nuestras empresas podrán aprovechar. A continuación, let me give the floor to the president of the board of the ALAT Free Economic Zone, Mr. Valev Alasgarov.
It's mine. It's mine personal. No, it's mine. Thank you. Once more, good morning. Me and Mr. Zohrab, we are from Azerbaijan, but we representing two different legislative bodies. And I will try to explain what's the difference between standard technological, technical, agro, etc. parks and ALAT Free Economic Zone. And with your permission, I'd like to start my presentation with a brief historical background of free zones. Since year 1958, when the Shannon Free Zone in Ireland was established, thousands of free zones, economic zones, industrial zones, and other type of zones, free zones have been established around the world. But despite the efforts of governments, a large number of free zones failed to meet many or any of their objectives. And why do a lot of free zones fail? Sometimes the value proposition wasn't right. Sometimes established free zones weren't competitive against regional peers, but mainly execution falters. And main reason for the failure or unsuccessful implementation of such free zone projects is the lack of understanding of the essence of such projects by the state officials. To put it simply, the absolute majority of officials are convinced, even today, that it is only necessary to announce that businesses established in the free zone will be exempt from corporate taxes, custom duties, and investors immediately will come and compete to establish their businesses in that free zone. But reality confirmed that with all the attractiveness of tax and customs incentives, this is not enough to attract investors. For investors, it was also equally important to have attractive for investors legislation, independent regulatory body. It is very difficult to explain to state officials why a regulatory body of free zone must be independent, but it is obligatory. Streamlined port, customs operations, simplified clearance procedures, modern energy transportation, logistical infrastructure, industrial lot plots with ready-to-use off-site and on-site infrastructure and utilities, and other advantages that combine to create an attractive for investors package. Based on studies of the reasons for the successful or unsuccessful development of free zones, we came to the conclusion that our ALAT Free Economic Zone project will be successful only if our clients will be convinced that we are doing everything necessary to ensure their successful and profitable activities in ALAT Free Economic Zone. And now let me briefly inform you about unique for entire post-Soviet area and surrounding countries project, the ALAT Free Economic Zone in Azerbaijan. First reason for uniqueness of this project, ALAT Free Economic Zone. Our project is an important part of the general policy of the president and the government of Azerbaijan to develop a knowledge-based and internationally competitive economy with the goal to become a highly competitive participant in international economic relations with diversified and export-oriented economy, creating high added value based on a world-class attractive business environment with modern energy, transportation, and logistical infrastructure. Second reason for that, ALAT Free Economic Zone located at the intersection of international at the intersection of international transport corridors in vicinity of the Baku International Sea Trade Port on the Caspian shore. And third reason for this, unique legal base of ALAT Free Economic Zone. The legal framework for the development, operation, and governance of ALAT Free Economic Zone based on the law of the Republic of Azerbaijan on the ALAT Free Economic Zone, adopted by the parliament and signed by the President of Azerbaijan as a prevailing law of the Republic of Azerbaijan. And very important that internal regulations of ALAT Free Economic Zone issued by the ALAT Free Economic Zone Authority are integral part of ALAT Free Economic Zone legislation, not only law as prevailing law of Azerbaijan, but internal regulations issued by us are integral part of ALAT Free Economic Zone legislation. And the law of the Republic of Azerbaijan on the ALAT Free Economic Zone declares that ALAT Free Economic Zone legislation, which consists of ALAT Free Economic Zone law and internal regulations, taking precedence over base economy legislation. But you can say that a lot of countries have such laws, but difference is to clearly demonstrate precedence of ALAT Free Economic Zone legislation over base economy legislation and exclude possibility of any conflicts, misunderstandings, contradictions in the interpretation of the provisions of ALAT Free Economic Zone legislation and base economy legislation. Relevant amendments were made and adopted by our parliament in constitutional law on normative legal acts, on in-tax, customs, licensing, labor, dispute resolution, and other. More than today, it is not 80, today it is more than 100 laws of the Republic of Azerbaijan. And these amendments clearly acknowledge that ALAT Free Economic Zone legislation takes precedence over those laws of base economy. For example, Parliament made changes and President signed these changes in constitutional law on normative legal acts. And this change says that constitutional law of the Republic of Azerbaijan on normative legal acts is not applicable in ALAT Free Economic Zone and for subjects of ALAT Free Economic Zone. It means for us and for our clients. In case of any conflict between this constitutional law and our legislation, as I said before, it is our law and internal regulations adopted by ALAT Free Economic Zone Authority. Our legislation will prevail. Same changes Parliament made in, for example, tax code of Azerbaijan. Under our legislation, corporate tax for our clients and for us is zero. No taxes. But to confirm that, Parliament made changes in tax code of Azerbaijan, and this change says that tax code of Azerbaijan not applicable in ALAT Free Economic Zone, and in case of any conflict between tax code of Azerbaijan and our internal regulations and our law, our legislation will prevail. For example, same changes Parliament made in custom codes of Azerbaijan. And this change says that custom code of Azerbaijan not applicable in ALAT Free Economic Zone and for subjects. And maybe first time in the world, custom plaza of ALAT Free Economic Zone are our custom plaza. We are owners of custom plaza, and this custom plaza operated by officers of Custom Committee of Azerbaijan in accordance with customs regulations of ALAT Free Economic Zone adopted by us and signed by me. They cannot change anything in our custom regulations, and everything at the custom plaza, X-ray machines, everything is computers, processors. We are owners. And we have same information as custom officers, which are working at our custom plaza. And same changes we made in, as I said before, in more than 100 laws of Azerbaijan. And in addition to that, ALAT Economic Zone law clearly declares that base economy authorities shall not have any jurisdiction in the ALAT Economic Zone and shall not have any power to regulate or oversee the activities of ALAT Economic Zone Authority or ALAT Economic Zone legal entities. It means legal entities means businesses established by our clients, investors in ALAT Economic Zone, and owners of these businesses, creditors of businesses, employees of businesses established by our clients. And in short, the legislation of base economy is not valid in ALAT Free Economic Zone and for subjects of ALAT Free Economic Zone, of course, except criminal law and anti-money laundering law. And only ALAT Free Economic Zone Authority, an independent regulatory body, is responsible and will be responsible for the exact implementation of the legislation of the ALAT Free Economic Zone in the interests of businesses established by investors in ALAT Free Economic Zone. As I said before, internal regulations developed and approved by ALAT Free Economic Zone Authority are integral part of ALAT Free Economic Zone legislation. And main purpose of this internal regulation is to create best possible business environment for our investors. And a list of this internal regulation is presented on the slide shown on the screen. And few words about, for example, dispute resolution regulations. Laws of Azerbaijan on dispute resolutions not applicable in the ALAT Free Economic Zone and for our clients and for us. And under our dispute resolution regulations, parties of dispute have rights to resolve their dispute in any country, under any legislation. And we are obliged to fulfill decision of such courts, even if we are losing party of such decision. But at the same time, parties of dispute have right to resolve their disputes in ALAT Free Economic Zone Arbitration Center. It means that one party have right to appoint somebody as their arbiter. Second party have right to appoint somebody as their arbiter. Two of them have right to appoint third person as chairman of arbitration, and third person will resolve dispute. And we are obliged, all parties of dispute obliged to fulfill such decision. Or, for example, banking regulations. We have our own bank, and we will establish second one in a few weeks. And these banks working under our regulations because we are not taxpayers, our customers, our clients are not taxpayers, and these banks are not taxpayers. And it will be much more easy for us, for our clients to use such banks. Or, for example, planning, construction regulations. We are responsible for planning permits, we are responsible for construction permits without any agreement, without any consultation with any state agency. And state agency are not part of our agreement with our partners. Sorry. And as mentioned earlier, ALAT Free Economic Zone internal regulations are integral part of the ALAT Free Economic Zone legislation, and ALAT Free Economic Zone legislation prevails over base economy laws. And in addition to that, we will provide to our investors and to businesses established by them in ALAT Free Economic Zone a package of fiscal and non-fiscal incentives, including exemption from value-added tax, withholding tax, and any other corporate taxes. Exemption from custom duties and taxes on import to the free zone and export from the free zone. No personal income tax for local personnel if the monthly salary does not exceed approximately $4,700 per month. Full protection of intellectual property rights, assistance in finding local skilled personnel, on-site one-stop shop business appraisal, licensing, permitting, etc., without any base economy authorities or agencies involvement. Independent regulatory body, as I said previously, and other incentives. And these incentives will also be available to support the subsequent expansion and growth of our clients' businesses into the future. And ALAT Economic Zone Authority will serve the needs of investors who will engage in high value added and export-oriented manufacturing and internationally traded services using innovative technologies and approaches to work in accordance with best international standards. And export-oriented manufacturing means that at least 75% of goods produced in the ALAT Economic Zone by our clients must be exported outside of the Republic of Azerbaijan. And the main reason for such requirement is to prevent establishment of small enterprises focused only on the local market. And during our discussions with potential clients, they many times asking, and what kind of limitations for investors, what kind of who are interesting for us, how limit of, for example, investment, etc., etc. And my answer is, our clients is businesses engaged in high value added export-oriented manufacturing. Finish. No additional terms and conditions for our clients. In addition to business-friendly legislation, fiscal and non-fiscal incentives, in cooperation with Azerbaijan Investment Company, we are ready to provide to our clients equity participation in businesses established in ALAT Economic Zone. And in addition to business-friendly legislation, fiscal, non-fiscal incentives, equity participation in industries, we are ready to provide to our clients industrial land plots with ready-to-use off-site and on-site infrastructure and utilities. Based on approved by the ALAT Economic Zone Master Plan, Authority Master Plan, ALAT Economic Zone initially will occupy a total site area of 850 hectares, located next to the seaport of Baku and global transport corridors. In addition to that, the government reserved more than 7,000 hectares for future expansion of the ALAT Economic Zone. And I am sure that it will be very attractive to our clients that in accordance with the law of the Republic of Azerbaijan on the ALAT Economic Zone, the government granted the Free Zone Authority an irrevocable, unfettered, and perpetual right of use over the Free Zone land, and only Free Zone Authority is entitled to use, lease, or otherwise dispose of the Free Zone land. Even in this issue, we are absolutely independent. The development strategy being implemented by the ALAT Economic Zone Authority is to build out ALAT Economic Zone infrastructure and facilities in phases. And we have almost completed first phase of the development of off-site and on-site infrastructure and utilities of initial 60 hectares area. 60. Maybe there. It's not working. sorry. Please, okay, it's okay. And we almost completed first phase of the development of off-site, on-site infrastructure and utilities of initial 60-hectare area, started in June 2021. And this first phase of infrastructure development includes 60 hectares territory. Is it possible to show our video, this area? Huh? Mm-hmm. Yes. One year ago, it was absolutely empty place, but today we have 60 hectares ready to use land plots, industrial land plots, with all utilities, water, gas, etc. We have our own custom plaza, as I said before. Yeah. It is industrial land plots, and you can see that our investor at this 5 hectares area start construction of their premises. Yes, second one, 3 hectares. They will establish their pharmaceutical premises. And 1 year ago, it was absolutely empty place. It is our first office building for us, for our custom officers, and for our clients, if they will need police office spaces. And this is our custom plaza. Another economic zone authority building in which the following will be placed: one-stop business center, one-stop shop business center, responsible for issuing licenses, permits, visas, certificates, as I said before, without any base economic authorities or agencies involvement. Offices for our clients, police, offices for custom officers who will serve our customs plaza in accordance with custom regulations adopted by ALAT Economic Zone Authority. In addition to that, in order to meet the needs of our customers in transportation logistics services, we will establish 2 logistic and transportation centers, and one of them on the territory of 50,000 square meters. This area, they start construction works, and in a few months, they will ready to provide transportation and logistic services for us and for our clients. And in addition to that, we are in process of negotiations with private investors. And main reason for that, we want to establish at the territory of ALAT Economic Zone a cargo airport with capacity of, at the first stage, 500,000 tons per year, and at the next stage, at least 1.5 million tons per year. And I hope that in 2.5 years, we will start operations of this cargo airport. And it means we will be ready to provide to our customers, to our clients, all kind of transportation and logistics services by railroad, by motorways, by air and sea. And by the way, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development has issued a loan for the logistics centers located on the area of 50,000 square meters. And construction works of the logistics center, as I said before, have already started. Due to a high number of committed investors in our project who are ready to invest their funds and start building of their enterprises on the territory of ALAT Free Economic Zone, we have finalized detailed design and we will start construction works on next 138 hectares. This part of ALAT Free Economic Zone, 138 hectares area within next few weeks in order to provide our investors additional industrial land plots, partially by the end of this year and completely not later than by the end of the next year. And for the same reason, we are forced to start detailed design of the territory of Free Economic Zone, or as we called Phase 3, designated for heavy industry this year, so that we can provide investors industrial land plots with ready-to-use off-site and on-site infrastructure and utilities, not later than in year 2024. And finally, we have two goals, and both of them are crucial. First, we will create the best possible business environment for ALAT Free Economic Zone clients, so that they have all they need to successfully establish and develop their businesses in ALAT Free Economic Zone. And at the same time, we will support expansion and growth of businesses of our clients into the future. And secondly, we want to demonstrate to the people of Azerbaijan that the transition to an internationally competitive and knowledge-based economy means in practice to support and assist our entrepreneurs, our business entities, to learn and practice a new business culture, new technologies, generate innovative enterprises to create real value for the economy and the people of Azerbaijan. It means that our main goal is not to make money in ALAT Free Economic Zone. And of course, business enterprises from Spain will be welcome to ALAT Free Economic Zone. And for those who are interested in getting additional information about ALAT Free Economic Zone, and I see that you have our folders. You can take any information from these folders. And in addition to that, I provided contact information on the, in these folders. Thank you for your attention, and I am ready to answer your questions.
Thank you so much for such a clear vision of the ALAT Free Economic Zone, its independence, its potential. And Spanish, we are going to witness the ambitious development that the ALAT Economic Free Zone is going to take over the following years. And thanks to your leadership, I'm sure that it will reach its maximum potential. Ahora vamos a dar paso a la siguiente mesa con las empresas. We are going to go down because the companies are going to speak after us. Thank you.
Bueno, a continuación tiene la palabra Adolfo Romero de Marcelo, Managing Partner SKS Global, quien hablará de las oportunidades comerciales y la estrategia para el éxito en el mercado de Azerbaiyán.
Sí, ahora. Bueno, buenos días a todos. Thanks to the Embassy of Azerbaijan for being here today, and thank you to the Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Gadirov and Mr. Alasgarov. Thank you for being here today, promoting Azerbaijan, such a great country full of opportunities. I'm going to switch to Spanish for my presentation. Gracias a la Cámara, por supuesto, por darnos la oportunidad de estar aquí hoy, a Elsa y a Rada. Bueno, voy a intentar ajustarme al tiempo que tenemos, que son 20 minutos. Voy a intentar reducir un poco más incluso. Bueno, nosotros vamos a hablar de las oportunidades de negocio en Azerbaiyán. Vamos a intentar dar una visión general de la región y del país en sí. Nosotros llevamos más de 10 años operando en la región. Somos una consultora especializada en hacer negocios en la zona, en ayudar a empresas principalmente españolas, pero también europeas, y nos encontramos con muchos testimonios de empresas españolas que, bueno, todavía nos dicen que es una zona difícil, inestable, oyen el nombre Azerbaiyán y no saben muy bien dónde posicionarlo en el mapa. Desafortunadamente, geográficamente incluso hay muchas empresas y directivos que todavía no saben muy bien ubicarse en la región. Dice que son mercados pequeños, que son pobres, cuando realmente son mercados ricos y llenos de oportunidades y grandes. No todos ellos son pequeños, tienen grandes poblaciones o grandes alcances a otros mercados que representan grandes poblaciones. Dicen que solo venden los turcos, los rusos. Es cierto que tienen una presencia importante, pero tenemos que fijarnos en los alemanes o los italianos que venden 5 o 10 veces más que España, ¿no? Que son nuestros verdaderos competidores en la zona. También nos suelen decir que son países con riesgos de impagos y en las operaciones, cuando nosotros en 10 años conocemos muy poquitos casos, que lo podríamos contar con una mano, de problemas de impago. Son grandes pagadores, cumplidores y buenos socios comerciales. Y bueno, la logística, ¿no? Una de nuestras excusas más habituales es que es muy difícil exportar porque está lejos, porque la logística es compleja, ¿no? Bueno, todos esos mitos, ¿no? Y experiencias que mucha gente trata de oídas, ¿no? Son falsos y hoy queremos derribar esas barreras, ¿no? Queremos que penséis en Azerbaiyán y la zona del Cáucaso como una zona próspera, llena de oportunidades, con una mentalidad moderna y que tienen ganas de posicionarse en el mundo, tienen una gran cultura y una gran naturaleza y creo que es el momento de que se conozcan en profundidad. Bueno, nosotros vamos a intentar hablar principalmente de Azerbaiyán, pero queremos también que nos situemos en el mapa, ¿no? Nosotros desde hace muchos años vemos el mundo desde este prisma, ¿no? Trazamos una línea desde Portugal hasta Japón. Lo que realmente está en el centro es Cáucaso y Asia Central, ¿no? Entonces, no son zonas que estén alejados de todo lo contrario, son el centro de todo. Y tenemos que empezar a ver desde este prisma al Cáucaso y a Azerbaiyán, ¿no? Rodeado de 3 grandes BRIC, acceso a Oriente, puerta de Europa, y que ahora, precisamente en esta situación actual que tenemos con el conflicto de Rusia y Ucrania, pues va a tomar un protagonismo especial, bueno, pues entre otras cosas porque el corredor, el Middle Corridor, que hemos comentado previamente, va a ocupar un papel muy relevante en la logística en los próximos años, ¿no? Tradicionalmente el corredor norte, que es por donde transitaban las mercancías, habitualmente mercancías por carretera, va a ser sustituido o se pretende que sea sustituido, ¿no?, por el corredor intermedio en su mayoría. Como podéis ver también, Azerbaiyán está alejado del conflicto porque muchas veces consideramos que todo está cerca del conflicto y realmente a día de hoy se está viviendo, pues bueno, yo diría que como aquí en Europa, ¿no? Se ve como algo que está ocurriendo importante con un impacto, va a tener un impacto, pero como lo podemos ver los europeos, ¿no? También tener en cuenta, como ya han mencionado previamente, que es acceso a la India, que es otro gran mercado relevante, y todo está en el centro, ¿no?, de este esquema. A día de hoy estamos viendo que hay un gran movimiento de empresas internacionales europeas que estaban posicionadas en Rusia, que se están desplazando a Azerbaiyán. Se está posicionando como un país receptor de inversores y un lugar donde hay seguridad jurídica y estabilidad suficiente como para implementar estos negocios. Del mismo modo, hay un gran movimiento de empresas rusas que operan o solían operar con Europa, que se está moviendo a Azerbaiyán, y esto está generando, pues la verdad, riqueza y movimiento en positivo de Azerbaiyán, ¿no? También es importante destacar que se puede convertir en un polo multiplicador de las exportaciones. Azerbaiyán a día de hoy puede recibir mercancías y exportar a todos los países de su entorno, que pueden suponer en torno a los 300 y pico millones de posibles consumidores, ¿no? Y eso se ha mencionado previamente, con acuerdos de libre comercio entre ellos sin aranceles, ¿no? Lo cual se posiciona en un lugar muy importante y creo que tiene mucho sentido hablar de la zona franca a día de hoy, porque sí representa una gran oportunidad para los exportadores. También estamos viendo cómo esas grandes centrales de compras que antiguamente estaban en Rusia y desde ahí se reexportaba al resto de países CIS o CEI, a día de hoy esos importadores de Azerbaiyán, de Kazajstán, de Georgia o de Uzbekistán están importando ya directamente desde España, saltándose a esos distribuidores rusos que tenían pues exclusividades o acuerdos tradicionales que se firmaban anteriormente para cubrir toda la región. Y esto también supone otra oportunidad para las empresas españolas. Bueno, Azerbaiyán, como ya podéis ver, por ampliar un poco el mapa, sería el país más a la derecha, en rosa, con acceso al mar Caspio. Realmente es lo que le hace ser un país rico en recursos naturales. Es un país petrolero con grandísimos recursos y eso se lo da, entre otras cosas, el mar Caspio. No tiene acceso al mar Negro, pero bueno, a través de los corredores intermedios, que como podéis ver aquí, confluyen en Azerbaiyán y podría tener una ruta a través del Mar Negro o a través de Turquía para entrar en Europa, pues poco a poco se van desarrollando y haciendo cada día más prácticas estas rutas que, bueno, tradicionalmente eran un poco menos usadas porque, entre otras cosas, el número de países y de fronteras que tienen que cruzar es mayor, ¿no? Entonces, antes nos enfrentábamos a un corredor norte que era dos fronteras prácticamente entre Europa y Rusia y países de su entorno con acuerdos preferenciales, y ahora tenemos que ver cómo hacer más fluido ese transporte de mercancía a través de diferentes naciones, ¿no? En eso se está trabajando, en esa digitalización, sobre todo digitalización de esa logística, que pueda dar incluso un pasaporte único a las mercancías para que fluyan con rapidez, ¿no? Ahí es donde se está invirtiendo una gran cantidad de recursos desde Europa y los organismos multilaterales. Tenéis que tener en cuenta que ese corredor intermedio acorta realmente a 15 días el transporte de mercancías entre Asia y Europa y sería una opción magnífica para bueno, aprovechar. En este caso siempre hay ganadores y perdedores en todo, ¿no? Y en este caso tenemos que apostar por esta nueva ruta después de lo que ha ocurrido, que creo que, bueno, va a tener a largo plazo una difícil solución. Bueno, hablando del tamaño del mercado, los tamaños de su entorno pueden representar en torno a 240 millones de potenciales consumidores, lo cual es un gran mercado. Si vemos los países que componen el Cáucaso, hablamos de unos 17 millones de posibles consumidores, lo cual es bastante interesante. Si hablamos de quién es quién en términos de PIB, por hacer una comparativa, porque nos perdemos un poco en la región, pues bueno, los países de Asia Central, que serían Kazajistán, Uzbekistán, Turkmenistán, Tayikistán y Kirguistán, y los de Cáucaso, Azerbaiyán, Georgia y Armenia, que son los de la derecha. Vemos que Azerbaiyán tendría el segundo PIB más relevante de toda la región, es el segundo país más rico en términos de PIB, crece en torno al 4,6% en este último año. Toda la región en sí está gozando de un buen momento. Teníamos unas previsiones bastante negativas a principios de año, cuando empezó el conflicto. Todas las perspectivas y todos los forecasts de los bancos multilaterales, Banco Asiático y BRD, todos cayeron 4 o 5%. Todos esos valores se han recuperado. Se ha visto como esta región de Cáucaso y Asia Central ha permanecido en los niveles esperados sin caer sus economías, lo cual es bastante relevante y que creo que no se conoce en profundidad. En términos de renta per cápita, también Azerbaiyán ocupa uno de los puestos más relevantes. Es un país próspero con una clase media interesante, boyante y que va en desarrollo, con una capacidad adquisitiva bastante importante, lo cual hace que sea un mercado objetivo de nuestras exportaciones de bienes de consumo y de agroalimentarios, entre otras. Bueno, también es importante destacar el papel que ocupa Azerbaiyán y otros países vecinos de la Unión Europea, lo cual le hace tener acuerdos preferenciales en términos de exportaciones, inversiones y destino de fondos para su desarrollo. Entre los objetivos que tiene la Comisión Europea, la Unión Europea para estos mercados es la promoción de las energías verdes, la eficiencia energética, digitalización e infraestructuras. Centrando el tiro un poco más en Azerbaiyán, bueno, Azerbaiyán, si no habéis estado, os recomiendo realmente que viajéis. Bakú es una ciudad magnífica, preciosa, merece mucho la pena su arquitectura y su parte antigua, porque es una ciudad milenaria realmente, ¿no? No es como otras ciudades que se han creado recientemente y modernas, ¿no? Combina la modernidad con la tradición. Aparte tiene una gran naturaleza, es un destino turístico magnífico, muy recomendable para familia. Y por hablar de las relaciones de España y Azerbaiyán a día de hoy, bueno, no tenemos oficina comercial en Azerbaiyán. Esto para mí es un hándicap importante, se lleva desde Turquía. Esto nos hace tener una posición más débil frente a otros competidores como Italia, Francia o Alemania, que son muy activos en la zona. Tenemos una encargada de negocios que bueno, hace un gran papel, pero creo que es necesario seguir apostando por la zona. El próximo plan en la región es abrir una oficina comercial en Uzbekistán, es algo que está en camino, pero creo que en el Cáucaso necesitamos también una representación a un alto nivel. Desde CESTE es un mercado seguro, no tenemos restricciones a las operaciones a corto plazo y está sujeto a estudio a largo plazo. Tenemos un convenio de doble imposición, España-Azerbaiyán, para materia impositiva. Azerbaiyán ocupa un puesto interesante, el 25 en el ranking de proveedores. España ocupa el 25 en el ranking de proveedores a Azerbaiyán. No está mal, pero podría estar mucho mejor, ¿no? Tened en cuenta que Alemania exportó 7 veces más, Italia 5 veces más, Francia 2 veces más, y estaría en el top 3 Rusia, China y Turquía. Hay una gran ola de oportunidades. Nosotros estamos, claro, lo vemos cada día que está ocurriendo. Hay ciertos productos que estamos exportando bastante. Como podéis ver en el gráfico de arriba a la izquierda, la evolución de las exportaciones de España ha sido ascendente desde 2016, quitando año COVID y demás. Hemos caído ligeramente en 2022, pero el ascenso que tuvo las exportaciones en 2021 fue el mejor dato de la última década de exportaciones a Azerbaiyán. Los principales sectores bueno, si los agrupamos serían los productos industriales y tecnologías, seguido de bienes de consumo y agroalimentario, y si vamos un poco más al detalle, vemos que el equipamiento de navegación aérea, aeronáutico, industria aeronáutica, la moda, prenda de textil y de vestir es bastante importante en la zona, el grupo Inditex está bastante presente. temas de materiales de construcción, productos químicos, aceite y aceitunas, aunque Azerbaiyán es un país productor, porque tienen olivos y tienen aceite y tienen aceituna, su consumo está tan interiorizado ya que necesitan más de lo que producen, ¿no? Entonces hay unos grandes crecimientos en la exportación de aceite y aceituna y equipos y componentes de automoción. Aquí os dejo un poco el detalle que compartiremos la presentación con vosotros. Y ya por centrarnos estos últimos 5 minutos en las oportunidades, algunas ya se han tocado. Nosotros consideramos... perdón. ¿No va para atrás? Aquí. Nosotros consideramos que hay oportunidades no solo en Azerbaiyán, sino en toda la región, en estos sectores, porque creo que es interesante abordar estos mercados de forma agrupada, porque así es como realmente son contundentes y mercados importantes. Para esas empresas que sean del sector de industria auxiliar de la agricultura, transporte, logística, consumo y retail, construcción, moda y textil, energía renovable, ahora vamos a profundizar muy poquito en cada cosa, farma y salud, industria química, gestión de residuos y medio ambiente, turismo y sector de multilateral, que bueno, aquí podemos meter consultoría y proyectos, hay oportunidades en todos los mercados de esta región, ¿no? Azerbaiyán incluido. En la industria auxiliar de la agricultura vemos que hay grandes oportunidades para empresas vinculadas a invernaderos, sistemas de riego, viveros y jardines intensivos, consultoría, conocimiento, necesitan mucho conocimiento en materia de agronomía. Hay empresas españolas que están teniendo mucho éxito en la región ya, construyendo sus invernaderos, empresas viveristas como Viveros Verón, que lleva muchos años ya operando en la zona, que es una empresa aragonesa. Bueno, y en realidad para nosotros es un sector que va a seguir creciendo, porque a día de hoy tened en cuenta que Azerbaiyán está en una zona ideal para la exportación de fruta y verdura, entre otros mercados, Rusia, ¿no? Que ya no puede importar nada de Europa. Por tanto, es un gran mercado que abastecer, así como otros del entorno como Kazajstán, que no tienen tanta capacidad de cultivo por el clima como tiene Azerbaiyán. En cuanto a infraestructuras, yo creo que ya hemos hablado de esto en toda la presentación. Destacar de nuevo el Middle Corridor, aquí se abre una gran oportunidad para todos en logística, proyectos de infraestructuras de transporte. En el sector agroalimentario, bueno, destacar que funcionan muy bien nuestros aceites, nuestras aceitunas, productos dulces, la cosmética, el sector lujo es bastante importante y la moda en Azerbaiyán. Yo siempre recordaré el primer impacto que tuve cuando paseaba por Bakú, cuando vi que 2 tiendas seguidas eran un showroom de Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, o sea, Rolls Royce. No se ve ese tipo de calle, ¿no? Comercial habitualmente. Hay un gran sector del lujo y se palpa, ¿no? En el ambiente con grandes boutiques y de las grandes firmas. El sector de la construcción, bueno, no se ha profundizado mucho en este tema en las anteriores presentaciones, pero hay un gran foco en la reconstrucción de la región de Karabaj. Va a haber grandes construcciones tanto en materia logística como en urbanística, y ahí hay una gran oportunidad. Energía renovable, hay un plan para el desarrollo de estas energías y se va a profundizar mucho y se va a promover tanto la solar como la eólica. También hay previstos muchos proyectos de hidroeléctrica y otras energías limpias. La gestión de residuos es importante, sin duda. Actualmente hay muchos proyectos en esa línea financiados por bancos multilaterales. El sector también de químico. También tenemos el turismo, evidentemente, muy importante. Se está promoviendo y creo que ahí tenemos mucho que decir desde España. Y finalmente, bueno, voy a daros unas pinceladas de cómo hacer negocios, ¿no? Lo que hemos vivido nosotros, muy concentrado en 3 diapositivas. Hay un alto desconocimiento de la zona, es tremendo, es difícil encontrarse a expertos en la región y empresas que tengan area managers para la zona. Os recomendaría realmente que os guiarais por expertos, cámara, consultores, OFECOMES, etcétera. Es muy importante tener alcance a las élites. Hay una gran influencia todavía del gobierno en el sector privado y es importante saber a qué puerta llamar. Hay una gran importancia de las relaciones personales. Realmente creo que es todo en el poder hacer negocios con el país, tener un buen feeling con tu cliente, con la administración, con el ministerio o con el cliente privado, muy importante. La parte negativa es que hay alta rotación de estos puestos públicos, por tanto, tenemos que seguir siempre tratando de mantener caliente esos lazos, ¿no? ¿Cómo se hace eso? Pues viajando, ¿no? Hay que tener presencia física, cuanta más mejor. Hay que tener paciencia, no se suelen hacer negocios a la primera, hay que perseverar. Existen algunas barreras lingüísticas. El inglés cada día se habla más, especialmente por la gente más joven, pero bueno, el idioma es el azerí y con el ruso nos podemos entender bastante bien, casi una gran parte de la población habla ruso. La comunicación es compleja por email, os recomiendo mucho que tiréis de teléfono, de videoconferencia, ahora que tenemos WhatsApp, Telegram, lo usan mucho, que sigamos ese modo de comunicación. Son muy amables, muy hospitalarios, hay que adaptarse a su forma de hacer negocios, a comer, a cenar, a tomar café, a ese tipo de reuniones también informales. Por otra parte, nos gustaría destacar que es fácil abrir una sociedad en Azerbaiyán. Normalmente podemos tardar en torno a un mes o 2 meses en abrir una sociedad sencilla, una sociedad limitada, que no provenga de un gran holding o de alguna circunstancia un poco especial. Es importante elegir al mejor socio, para eso es importante que nos dejemos asesorar por los que realmente saben. No es normal compartir la distribución o la representación en el territorio. Son buenos pagadores, como hemos dicho antes. Normalmente el 50-70% de pago por adelantado es normal en las operaciones de comercio exterior, de bienes y servicios. La carta de crédito se utiliza poco todavía, a menos que sean grandes proyectos. La moneda habitual de los negocios puede ser dólar o euro. Hay seguridad jurídica, evidentemente, como en otros mercados de la zona, Azerbaiyán y Kazajstán, yo creo que son los países a día de hoy con una legislación más madura y más similar a los internacionales. Hay una alta competencia de empresas turcas, competimos muy directamente con ellos, son muy buenos competidores y ahí tenemos un hueso duro de roer. Pero bueno, de nuevo volvemos al ejemplo de otros mercados europeos que tienen muchísima más presencia y tenemos que competir a ese nivel. Bueno, la ruta logística más interesante, esto habrá que valorarlo caso a caso, pero bueno, podemos optar por el corredor intermedio o el corredor sur, a día de hoy está funcionando bastante bien. Y recomendaciones de viaje, bueno, normalmente solemos viajar a través de Turquía, seguimos necesitando visado electrónico, hay una gran oferta hotelera de primer nivel en Bakú, podemos viajar sin ningún tipo de problemas con estándares a nivel europeo. Y bueno, sistemas de pago, podemos llevar nuestra visa, funciona en casi todos los restaurantes de un nivel medio alto y podemos sacar incluso de cajeros automáticos en la zona. Por tanto, no tengáis miedo a viajar a la zona, viajar a Azerbaiyán, hay muchísimas oportunidades esperando en toda la región, no solo en Azerbaiyán, y os animamos a que a través de la cámara podáis acceder a estos mercados tan interesantes. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Adolfo. Y muestra de las oportunidades que ofrece el mercado de Azerbaiyán es la experiencia empresarial de 2 empresas españolas, Indra y Técnicas Reunidas, cuyos representantes tenemos hoy aquí y van a compartir con nosotros sus testimonios. Empezaremos con Indra, la presentación será en inglés y a continuación con el representante de Técnicas Reunidas en español.
Thank you. Firstly, I would like to thank the Embassy of Azerbaijan and to Chamber of Commerce to inviting me. It's really a pleasure to be here. I'm the country manager of Indra Azerbaijan. Firstly, I would like to introduce you very briefly Indra, and after I'm gonna explain our experience in Azerbaijan. Indra is the leading consultancy and technology multinational and one of the leading company in all over the world. We are a world leader for providing our own solution in transport and defense industry. We are the leading firm in digital transformation consultancy and information technology. Indra provides business solutions, IT services, and comprehensive systems to clients all over the world. We operate in over 140 countries. And of course, Azerbaijan is one of our major clients where we operate in. Regarding to our presence in Azerbaijan, we started our activities in 2012. And since then, we have had a wide range of experiences, especially in defense and air traffic management industries. In 2012, we gained our first comprehensive project in Azerbaijan in air traffic management markets for a contract of air traffic control center in Baku International Airport. In 2014, we were awarded one of our biggest contract in the region by the Ministry of Defense of Azerbaijan for 3D Lancer radar defense systems and the modernization of a military air base. And until now, we have accomplished many successfully many projects. And since then, we are reinforcing more our presence in the country. In 2021, we were selected by the Azerbaijan Air Navigation Service Provider as a supplier of primary and secondary civil radars systems in 2 new airports in Karabakh for Fizuli and Zengilan airports. Well, I could say that Azerbaijan is a country with lots of opportunities. Thanks to our challenging clients, or strong and trustable long-term relationship with them, new opportunities are always coming. Our relationships are always getting better and better. And I would like to tell that since Indra consider Azerbaijan as a strategic market, the Azerbaijan market for us is not limited to Azerbaijan as a country, but a much wider geographical area due to cultural influence, politics, and business that Azerbaijan has as one of the leading countries in the region. Thus, Indra would like to make Azerbaijan a hub, a regional center from which to operate over a broad area in the region. Today, Indra would like to invest more, and we believe that our investments would be mutually beneficial for both parties, as Indra can bring know-how and technology while contributing to Azerbaijan economy. And well, thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Ahora tiene la palabra Álvaro García, director de proyecto en Técnicas Reunidas de la modernización de la refinería de Haydar Aliyev en Bakú.
Good morning. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Well, good morning. I don't know if it's working.
Yeah.
Hola? Yeah. So, well, first of all, of course, thank you very much, and very, very happy and a pleasure, of course, to be here today. Thanks for the Chamber of Commerce and Embassy of Republic of Azerbaijan. My name is Álvaro García. I'm working in Técnicas Reunidas for 16 years, and out of which 5 years I was acting as project director. And today I would like as well to share my experience and feedback of the current project that we are coming to end on Azerbaijan in Baku city. How we were, let's say, how was our contribution to Técnicas Reunidas in Azerbaijan? Well, first of all, I think maybe all of you knows Técnicas Reunidas, but just let me brief very short. We are a global engineering company located in Spain. We have several also engineering centers around the world, in Emirates, in India, in Turkey, and other countries. And mainly we are just focusing on the engineering, procurement, construction activities on the oil and gas field. And in this sense, we have the opportunity to start to work in Azerbaijan through our relationships with SOCAR, which is the state oil company on Azerbaijan. We worked before with them in Turkey, but of course, SOCAR, they have also a strong presence in Turkey. And then we have the opportunity. We were awarded on December of 2017. We established our entity branch office in Azerbaijan on 2018. And as of today, this entity is still working. The scope that was awarded for us was on the Heydar Aliyev refinery, located in Baku. That refinery, was built up in some time of 1950, 1960. And well, government and SOCAR just decided to make important investment on that refinery in order to upgrade the current production of the diesel and gasoline in order to meet the Euro 5 specification. So in this sense, the existing refinery was challenged project, of course, because there was existing refinery, which it's operating and under operation. And at the same time, we have to work out around the refinery and just to build up new units with the objective, as I said, to obtain these new specification requirements. In this sense, what we did when we just arrived, of course, was the first time in Azerbaijan. Always we have a certain learning curve. And one of the things that we were clear, in order to operate properly in Azerbaijan, we focus in three main aspects. One of them was to understand the regulations. There are certain government entities that we have to deal with them in order to apply for permits and so on, in order to proceed with our construction works. The second thing also that we focus was on the recruitment. Every time that we are, of course, coming a new country, it's one of the targets and objective, of course, is to execute the projects, meeting all the requirements. But a part of it, we also are always looking for having some kind of establishment on the countries and trying to, of course, giving continuity for future projects. In that sense, we are always searching talent and looking for people, local staff, who can also join in our organization, training them for the specific job that we are just performing, means on the oil and gas field. And why not, of course, giving the continuity not only in Azerbaijan, let's say, on the country that we are operating, also abroad in Técnicas Reunidas. At the end, Técnicas have presence in all continents currently in different projects with major clients. So we focus on this consultant service company who help us to manage all these permits. We did it. We start to recruitment people in Azerbaijan. For that, we understood that the best way, let's say, to break these kind of communication barriers that sometimes you may find, it's by hiring a local personnel. So we assign a human resource manager from Azerbaijan, a qualified person that definitely has been one of the key factors in the successful of our recruitment staff in Azerbaijan. And the third, of course, target was to find partners in Azerbaijan, means construction partner, manufacturers, partners that may also help us on the project execution of the Heydar Aliyev refinery. And we did it. We have some, of course, guidance as well with our important and key client SOCAR. So we brought these main three, let's say, aspects on the project in Azerbaijan. So the engineering and procurement activities was performing in Madrid office, which are our headquarters, and in the site organization, we create that structure that if we are translating in terms of, let's say, economical terms, what we did is we assign approximately around 5,000 people working in that project, not only under TR, together with all our subcontractors, main subcontractors such as ASFEN, for instance, who has been one of the main contributors definitely on our success of the project. And under Técnicas Reunidas direct people, we were able to also hire around, in the peak time, 225 people. Out of these 225 people, around 65% has been local content. Okay, one of our ratios that normally Técnicas Reunidas is working in, we are trying in our site organizations, we are not trying to be on the ratio of 80-20, means 80% local content, 20% expat content. But I have to say that in this particular case, being the first time that we have been working in Azerbaijan, and of course this learning curve, that is something that takes time sometimes, we were, let's say, very comfortable and happy to reach such percentage for the first project. So at the end, in terms of economical parts, the project that was the scope of the project, that is engineering, procurement, construction, and commissioning of the for the new units that we have built on the refinery. The project is worth in $700 million, just to have an idea. So basically about $400 million we were able to assign local content. It means through our construction partners, with our important also some of manufacturers that they are has been manufactured in Azerbaijan, and of course with the key staff that we already hired being part of this project execution. Currently the project is there. We are now only 70 people. Of course, we are now the project is coming to end, is ending the commissioning activities. Hopefully very soon the production of Euro 5 will start, the diesel Euro 5. And this is how we have been, let's say, contributed in these last 3 years. I personally been living in 3 years in Baku with all my team and staff. So very nice city, by the way, very friendly people. And well, what we are looking for now is looking for opportunities and the future. We have some meetings, of course, with management from SOCAR, trying to understand what kind of opportunities may bring on the oil and gas field. That this is what we are more specialized as company. Also, we are specialized on this transition energy that is the future, no? Is the green energy that we are calling and that all of us, of course, we are looking for. So in terms of renewable energies and so on, also is very, we are very confident and it's very attractive business for us. And we see nowadays Baku as not only for potential projects may come but to participate in future tender stage that companies or major clients such as SOCAR may invite us. Also, we see that Baku, as already explained before, geographical location is very strategic. So not only just to cover the needs that you may have as a project in Azerbaijan, also in the region itself. No, recently Técnicas Reunidas has been awarded in Kazakhstan, one of projects as well, has been already announced just a few weeks ago. And this is a good example that how Baku can be a hub for us, maybe to recruit certain people for working as engineering and cover this, providing these engineering services. Again, not only for, of course, Baku or Azerbaijan opportunities, but also for region itself opportunities. So we are, of course, very excited on this 2023, waiting for good news and updates from Azerbaijan on this regard. And well, I know that I'm the last, so maybe the people is thinking when is the time of coffee. So from my side, I finished. Anyway, of course, if you want to make any kind of questions later on, I'm more than happy just to attend, share my experience in other aspects that maybe I'm missing out on this short presentation. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias. Y antes del café, donde podrán estar en contacto tanto con los ponentes, con los representantes de la delegación de Azerbaiyán, si tienen ahora algunas preguntas, también las pueden hacer. Parece que no, no hay. Pues nada, muchas gracias a la Embajada de Azerbaiyán. Thank you very much of the Embassy of Latvia Zone and Taspromo for the support. Gracias por vuestra asistencia. Thank you also for your participation. Adolfo as well, thank you very much. Y ahora pasamos al café donde podemos continuar hablando e intercambiando opiniones. Thank you very much. Gracias.